Judicial Watch uncovers more damning evidence on the bank trail between Obama's FBI and Steele by Erin Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com. Just a couple of days ago, Judicial Watch obtained damaging records on the FBI's relations with British spy and dossier author Christopher Steele. But Tom Fitton just dropped a bomb from those records that many seem to have missed. Fitton states that the FBI records show that not only did the Bureau pay Steele 11 times, but they also met with him 13 times during the 2016 campaign. And he tweeted that out at 5:45 a.m. today. Obama FBI met with Clinton DNC Fusion GPS dossier author Steele 13 times during campaign, paid this anti-Donald Trump foreign spy 11 times. Judicial Watch got the docs. We'll discuss on Fox and Friends at 6:15 a.m. From Judicial Watch, Washington, D.C., Judicial Watch announced today the FBI turned over 70 pages of heavily redacted records about Christopher Steele, the former British spy hired with Clinton campaign and DNC funds, who authored the infamous dossier targeting President Trump during last year's presidential campaign. The documents show that Steele was cut off as a confidential human source after he disclosed his relationship with the FBI to a third party. The documents show at least 11 FBI payments to Steele in 2016 and documents that he was admonished for unknown reasons in February of 2016. The documents were turned over in response to Judicial Watch's Freedom of Information Act FOIA lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Justice for records of communications and payments between the Federal Bureau of Investigation's FBI and former British intelligence officer Christopher Steele and his private firm Orbis Business Intelligence. Judicial Watch versus U.S. Department of Justice. The documents include a source closing communications that states that Steele, referred to as CHS or confidential human source, in other words spy, is being closed because CHS confirmed to an outside third party that CHS has a confidential relationship with the FBI. CHS was used as a source for an online article. In the article, CHS revealed CHS's relationship with the FBI as well as information that CHS obtained and provided to the FBI. On November 1st of 2016, CHS confirmed all of this to the handling agent. At the time, handling agent advised CHS that the nature of the relationship between the FBI and CHS would change completely and that it was unlikely that the FBI would continue a relationship with the spy, so to speak. Additionally, handling agent advised that the spy was not to operate to obtain any intelligence whatsoever on behalf of the FBI. The documents also show that Steele was paid repeatedly by the FBI and was admonished for some unknown misconduct in February of 2016. The documents include 15 FD 1023 source reports, contact reports, payment requests, 11 of them. It appears Steele was paid money 11 of the 13 times he met with the FBI and gave them information, and electronic communication documenting that on February 2nd, 2016, Steele was admonished in accordance with the Justice Department guidelines and the FBI Spy Policy Manual. The documents were obtained as a result of a lawsuit that was filed after the Department of Justice failed to respond to a March 8, 2017 FOIA request seeking all records of communication between any official, employee, or representative of the FBI, and Mr. Christopher Steele, a former British intelligence officer and the owner of the private firm Orbis Business Intelligence. All records related to the proposed planned or actual payment of any funds to Mr. Steele and or Orbis Business Intelligence. All records produced in preparation for, during, or pursuant to any meetings or telephonic conversations between any official, employee, or representative of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Mr. Christopher Steele and or any employee or representative of Orbis Business Intelligence. These new docs show the shady, cash-based relationship the Obama FBI had with Clinton operative Christopher Steele, said Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. The anti-Trump Russia investigation had Christopher Steele at its center, and his misconduct was no impediment to using information from his Russian intelligence collaborators to spy on the Trump team. The corruption and abuse is astonishing. Last week, a separate Judicial Watch lawsuit uncovered the FISA warrant documents used to justify spying on Carter Page. The warrants are controversial because the FISA court was never told that the key information justifying the request came from a dossier that was created by Fusion GPS, a paid agent of the Clinton campaign and DNC. Fusion GPS hired Steele to create the dossier, and Steele is referenced repeatedly as source number one in the warrants. The initial Carter Page warrant was granted just weeks before the 2016 election. Steele and his minimally corroborated, I would say zero corroborated Clinton DNC dossier was the essential part of the FBI and DOJ's applications for surveillance warrants to spy on Page, and in the meantime, wiretap Trump in the meantime. What does that tell us, right? What does that tell us? The whole thing was a setup, and the FBI was even paying this guy, and this guy was also, Christopher Steele, was leaking to the media. So what does that tell us? It was a setup from the get-go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.